What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update today for 2021, as well as the next two upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package and the next stimulus package named the American Families Plan, as well as what is going on in the world today. We have some big news in this video. We also have some brand new stimulus checks that were just approved and are going to be sent out for $1,000 that we're going to go over in this video. If you've been watching the show, you know that there's multiple different types of stimulus checks and stimulus programs, and a brand new one that was just announced and approved. We're going to be going over all that and much more in this video. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember those times and don't miss an episode. Also, if you can, hit the like button for us. It really helps out our channel. Okay, first up, a federal appeals court has rejected a bid by landlords to resume evictions and to get rid of the eviction moratorium. Millions of Americans are going to be facing evictions on the end of June. More than 11 million Americans are behind on rent, and many could face eviction as the national housing protection, known as the eviction moratorium, expires at the end of this month. And that's if President Biden doesn't extend this. He can do this through a presidential executive order to extend it so that evictions for 11 million people, which is a lot of people that are behind on rent from the pandemic, are currently being protected by this eviction moratorium. A few weeks ago, we had a federal judge that kind of struck down this ruling. But then, since negotiations with the White House and the Biden administration, the judge has agreed to temporarily pause their decision, which basically means it's probably going to go until the end of June when it's normally scheduled to, if it's not extended. I will keep you up to date on this. We have less than 30 days until June is over and this eviction moratorium expires. So we're going to see some action this month. I will keep you updated. We're starting to see more and more headlines like this. Progressive Democrats are ramping up pressure on Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to nix the filibuster or to get rid of the filibuster. In fact, it's being said that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer might force a vote to happen within the next few months to get rid of the filibuster. The filibuster is the rule that requires 60 votes to pass a bill in the Senate. Normally. Now, there is a certain amount of reconciliation cards you can use to pass a bill like a stimulus package or an infrastructure package with only 50 or 51 votes. I say 50 or 51 because the Senate is currently tied 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans. And what would happen with the third stimulus check package is when there's a 50-50 tie, the tiebreaker vote goes to the vice president, who in this case is a Democrat, Kamala Harris, for the 51st vote, the tiebreaker vote. However, if you've been watching the show, you know that the reconciliation cards are limited. You can only use a certain amount of times, although Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's kind of found a way around that, at least temporarily, where he can go back and amend bills again and basically get just with the 51 votes, go back and change a reconciliation bill and add to it, basically add another stimulus check, for example. So there is a lot of restrictions when it comes to the reconciliation process, a limited amount of times they can use it, and certain things can't be included in there, like we've seen previously with the $15 an hour minimum wage that Democrats want, but there just wasn't quite enough support to do it. So if the Democrats force a vote to get rid of the filibuster, if they get 50 votes in the Senate, they can get rid of the filibuster and only make it so you only need 51 votes, or 51 votes in the Senate to pass a bill. Now, remember, both Republicans and Democrats will benefit from this when they're in charge. Remember, the Republicans back in 2017 passed the Trump tax cuts via the reconciliation process as well. So basically, whoever is in control of the Senate at any given time would benefit by getting rid of the filibuster. For example, when the next midterm election comes around in a year and a half, if the Democrats lose even a single vote, one vote to the Republicans would have 51 people in the Senate and would then be able to pass bills without the reconciliation process because they would have the 51 votes. So a lot of Republicans are against this right now, but in the future, this could benefit them. And being able to get 51 votes to pass any bill, including stimulus packages, infrastructure package, voting right packages, minimum wage raising, Social Security bill raises, Medicare expansion. That's all likely going to be piled into this next package or two. They may even combine the next infrastructure package and the next stimulus package to just pass them as one and use just one reconciliation card if they can't agree with the Republicans. But if they get rid of the filibuster, it'll make it much easier to pass bills in the Senate with only 51% of votes. That is exactly how the House of Representatives is and has been for many, many decades. You only need one more vote, more than 50% in the House of Representatives. But in the Senate, it's literally much, much harder to get 60% of votes. It basically means you're either going to go bipartisan and have support of both groups completely, or you're not going to pass a bill at all, because 90% of the time, the Democrats and the Republicans all vote together in huge groups. So you either get everybody on board or you don't pass the bill for the most part, unless it's a reconciliation package. And honestly, the Democrats have about a year and a half to pass all these different things they want that is on their agenda. We have, multiple different Democrats pushing for a fourth stimulus check, with over 80 Democrats alone in the U.S. House of Representatives that support a fourth stimulus check. It's actually a lot more than that, with Democratic Representative Jayapal, who has introduced the $2,000 one-time stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments that would go until 1 year after the pandemic. That's the same bill here as this. And Representative Jayapal is the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, who is it's about a half of all the Democrats in the House of Representatives. And remember what we said, Democrats and Republicans that typically vote all together. So if we're starting to see that the majority of Democrats want a fourth stimulus check and they put that in that package, again, they almost always vote all together. And that's how we can see a fourth stimulus check added into one of these next two packages. In fact, we have over half of the Democrats in the Senate, 28 different Senate lawmakers from the Democratic Party, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate Budget Chairman, the person in charge of the budget reconciliation process, have actually signed a letter to President Biden pushing for monthly recurring stimulus checks for $2,000 per month that would go until the pandemic is over. So this is really what the leaders want. We also have the U.S. House and Ways Means Committee from the U.S. House of Representatives that are also urging President Biden to pass monthly recurring stimulus checks in this next package. Now, President Biden himself and the White House press secretary says that Congress can put a fourth stimulus check in either of these next two packages if they want it, and the White House says they're okay with this. President Biden has also said that the need for more stimulus has been made clear from this April jobs report and retail sales report that were very, very poor. We're expected to see the May jobs report come out, I believe, as early as Friday. And if that is poor as well, it will just make it even more clear that they need to put more stimulus in these next packages. Now, in addition to this, there's about 15 different items they're negotiating on with the next stimulus package. In fact, some that was just approved here that I'll get here in just a second. They also want to increase Social Security. I have a dedicated video on that about President Biden's wants to raise Social Security by $1,341 per month. I'll link you to that at the end of this video, so you can just click on it and go right to it. Really good video. In addition to that, not only do they want to raise Social Security, but they also want to increase Medicare benefits to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids, as well as lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60 with no additional cost to Medicare recipients. As well as they want 2 years of free community college for all adults that make below an income threshold, the same as the third stimulus check. So if you got the third stimulus check, based on these next packages, if it's included, you could be eligible to go to community college for 2 years for free, which will be an absolute game changer for our country, as well as 2 years of free preschool they want to have for children. So you can go to, normally right now you have to pay to go to preschool. I would know our son just turned 3 and is supposed to be going there in the fall. But based on this new legislation, they're probably going to include 2 years of free preschool and 2 years of free college in one of these next packages. The Democrats really have about a year or year and a half to pass all these different things, Social Security raises, more stimulus checks, Medicare raises, free college, student loan debt forgiveness, until the midterm election comes up. Because again, if the Democrats lose even a single vote in the Senate, or even just a couple votes in the House of Representatives, they'll lose control. If they lose control of either one, then they're not going to be able to pass bills completely on their own. They'll need support from the Republicans. All right, now remember how we've been talking about all these different stimulus programs that are going on right now, and there's going to be a bunch more happening from this $350 billion going to states, cities, and counties. And states, cities, and counties all get to kind of spend it on their own, and they have to spend a certain portion of that money on stimulus programs. Well, we just had a really large one announced and passed, and another large one as well. And we're going to be seeing more types of programs like this. Of course, the biggest one that has been announced so far is the California Golden State Stimulus Check Program, which already has been passed for the first round for people making up to $30,000. I believe they sent about, there's 5 or 6 million people that are going to be getting this in total. Millions of people just got their checks this week. In fact, I've seen a lot of people on our channel comment that they got their $600 stimulus check from California. If you got your $600 state stimulus check from California, please comment down below so our viewers can see that if they're from California and waiting for it. California is also proposing a second round of stimulus checks that'll go out to up to 25 million people, which is a lot of people. That's a lot of people. That's more than most states' population, for an additional round of $600 stimulus checks and $500 for if you have children, for a total of $1,100 stimulus checks and $5 billion towards rental assistance. I have a dedicated video where I went over all the state, city, and county stimulus check programs that I know about up until this point. I'll link you to at the end of this video as well. You can click on it. But also, we just had 2 more states announce more stimulus programs like this. First up, Florida Republican Governor DeSantis is offering, and it's passed, a $1,000 pandemic bonus, also known as hazard pay, a form of stimulus check that people have been waiting many months for our essential workers. So as you can see here, Governor Ron DeSantis announced a $1,000 one-time bonus for approximately 174,000 first responders or essential workers, including law enforcement officers, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, EMTs, and firefighters across the state. Now, I always double check my research, so I just want to make it sure, or I do want to make it clear, that teachers and principals are also going to receive this $1,000 stimulus check. This article right here didn't mention that, so I wanted to make sure of that. But yes, Florida teachers and principals and many different types of essential workers that worked during the pandemic to keep our country open are going to receive $1,000 bonus stimulus checks for Florida. These are the type of programs we're going to be seeing announced in all 50 states. And don't worry, I get comments every day that say, our state will never do this. In fact, I've probably seen like 100 comments that saying, Florida will never do this. Florida, the governor's going to keep all the money and line his pockets and send it to his cronies. All 50 states are getting money, don't worry. We're going to be seeing all types of programs like this. Some are just doing stimulus checks like California. We've also seen New Jersey and a couple other states announce this. We just had $2.7 billion from New York for rent assistance. That's billion with a B, 2.7 billion. That's a huge number. And now we have Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, who's going to be doing $1,000 stimulus checks to teachers and firefighters. He says supporting our law enforcement and first responders has been a top priority for my administration, and it has never been more important than over the last year. As a state, we are grateful for their continued service to our communities, said Governor Ron DeSantis. This one-time bonus is a small token of our appreciation, but we can never go far enough to express our gratitude for their selflessness. And Ohio has also just announced a bill that will give police officers and first responders a $1,000 pandemic bonus or $1,000 hazard pay, or $1,000 stimulus check, however you want to, use the wording here. For Ohio, Florida has already passed it. As you can see here, Florida has passed the $1,000 bonus. Ohio has now announced this as a bonus, but has not been passed yet. But I do expect this to pass. As you can see here, Ohio state representatives introduced a bill yesterday that would give every police officer and first responder in the state who worked during the pandemic a one-time bonus check of $1,000. Representative Phil Plumer, a former Montgomery County sheriff who now represents the 40th District of Ohio as a Republican, introduced the bill with 13 co-sponsors. Plummer says, in Ohio, we strongly support our brave first responders. The goal of this legislation is to provide a small token of gratitude to these men and women for their tireless work during the pandemic and their service each day to our communities. Now, I want to note that the federal government has said that states can use a portion of their $350 billion to cover up to $25,000 in hazard pay for grocery store workers, firefighters, teachers, first responders, and other essential workers. So we're going to be seeing probably a lot more of these programs from states, cities, and counties, and up to $25,000 in hazard pay. Now, note that it's not just hazard pay. Like, for example, I try to cover as many programs as I can. So whenever I see a program like this, Florida and Ohio just popped in the news here today, I cover it. Whenever I see news about your state, whether it's Alabama, Arkansas, or Florida, or Texas, whatever it is, I'm going to cover it. If I haven't mentioned your state yet, it's just because I haven't seen any new news about it yet. If you know of any programs going on right now in your state, please comment them down below in the comments. Don't put any links because they'll go to the spam filter. And if you see a comment like that, give that comment a thumbs up so more of our viewers will see them. Again, there's mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance. We have these state stimulus checks. We have these state stimulus hazard pay checks going out now. We have these vaccine lotteries going out right now. There's literally like dozens of programs that are sending out money right now while they work on the fourth stimulus check and the fourth stimulus check package, the Social Security increase and the Medicare increase. While they're working on all those things, all these other programs are literally sending out money right now. So I'll keep you up to date when your state, city, and county comes out. Also be prepared, a lot of these different stimulus check programs you have to actually apply for. This is one that kind of always sticks in my head from last year. Orange County, Florida. Again, this is county money. Remember, states get money, counties get money, and cities get money, and they all get to determine how they want to spend it on their own. Orange County, Florida did $1,000 stimulus checks, 3 different rounds last year, and they were first come, first serve. And that's why it's important to watch this show, because if you don't know about it, they literally opened up their portal. Again, it's not open right now. This is an old article just showing you, for example. But they opened up their portal, and like within an hour or two, it was gone, and all the money was taken. So they actually ended up doing 3 different rounds of it to get it out to more people. And I always let you know about these programs as soon as I know about them. The New York program for $2.7 billion, as you can see here directly on the governor.ny.gov website, it's actually $3.5 billion total, $2.7 billion in rent assistance, and $800 million for small business recovery grants in the state of New York. Again, this is live right now and was just started here on June 1st. We've been going over this a couple different days as it has opened up. If you want to apply for this from New York, again, it's $2.7 billion with a B, so it's absolutely a ton of money. It's open now, started June 1st. Go to Google and just type in Emergency Rental Assistance Program New York, and maybe even add June 1st to it, and you'll come directly to this page. I'll also put a link for you down below in the description here of this video, so you can go directly to this link and apply. Again, $2.7 billion. And as you can see here, they will pay up to 12 months of your rent. So 12 months of your rent payment. That's why I say these programs are nothing to sneeze at. If your rent's $1,000 a month, they're going to pay up to $12,000 of it. So when you think about the $1,200 first stimulus check, this is 10 times more than that. So don't take these programs lightly, because it's literally like getting 10 stimulus checks at once, or possibly even more if your rent's more than $1,000. So I'll keep you up to date on all these different stimulus check programs. They're going to be coming available in all 50 states, counties, and cities. If you know of any programs, please comment them down below in the comments. I will let you know as soon as I see them for all 50 states here on this show. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates, and click the bell icon to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos, which is 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this video here to see all the state stimulus checks and other checks that are going out in June, July, and August. And you can click this video here to see President Biden's Social Security raise plan that President Biden himself wants to do. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.